Hello, welcome to my presentation on my aunt, Anu Sharma, who is an Asian immigrant from India. I hope you enjoy the slideshow about her life. My name is Anaya Sharma, and this is for the class Asian American Studies with Professor Henry Carney. Since the creation of the United States, people have been eager to come and build their own lives here. However, Asian immigration to the United States happened relatively recently, with a few Asian immigrants coming in the 1800s. Nowadays, immigration to the U.S. is desired. It is a chance to live the American dream and start anew in a country with countless opportunities. Focusing on Asian immigration, let us look deeper into the lives of immigrants from India. Only a few people took the journey from India to the United States at the beginning of the 20th century. However, as communities soon began to rise, more people decided to take the journey to the United States. One of those people was Anu Sharma. This is a photo of Anu Sharma and I in New York City, circa 2007. Anu is currently a professor of anthropology at Wesleyan University. Before we dive deep into Anu's story, let us look at some of the push and pull factors that drove the early Indian settlers to move to the United States. For many, British rule was a detrimental aspect of their lives. According to Erica Lee in her book, The Making of Asian America, A History, decades of economic dislocation, high taxes, and farming losses caused by British colonial policies destroyed farming families. They also suffered from droughts, famines, and severe epidemics. Even after the British left India, it was not all fixed. Economic problems and high inflation created a need to print abundant amounts of money. This led to political unrest and created a national emergency. The economy could not keep up with how many college graduates India was producing due to this problem. Some of the pull factors that made Indians want to come to the United States were that Indians believed the United States to be a land of freedom, stability, and opportunity. According to Erica Lee, many stated that they do not want to live in the slave country, meaning India. They want to go to America where there is no slavery. Indian believes that anything was better than staying under British rule. Americans also began advertising in India for opportunities to make a fortune. This drove many young men to take the journey to try and make it big in this land of opportunity. The experience of Anu Sharma was a bit different than this. On October 9, 1968, Anu Sharma was born in New Delhi, India, 21 years after India gained its independence from Britain. Her nuclear family included her mom, dad, and younger brother, who's my father, while also living in a joint family of 8. She had a huge family. Her cousins lived very close by, and there were always people coming in and out of her house. Anu describes this time as happy and a lot of fun. Anu lived in India until she was 18, when she traveled to the United States. Anu staying in the United States was all by chance. The photo in the bottom right is Anu Sharma's family. She is the child in the hat. Anu had originally come to New York City to visit her uncle with her maternal grandparents. Her grandparents gave her the idea to apply for college in the United States instead of India. According to Anu, the only way she would end up staying in the United States was if she was admitted into college. She had no genuine desire to stay if nothing came of the applications. As someone who did not have a lot of connection or knowledge of America, it was truly a foreign place for her. Her interest in staying in the United States is very different from Indians who take the journey to the United States today. Starting from 1965, Indian immigrants were highly skilled professionals in their fields. This is due to the need for more people with technical skills in the United States. This is from the book, The Making of Asian America, by Erica Lee. Anu came to this country without any technical skills or even a college degree. To stay in the United States, she needed to get into college. Luckily, this happened. Anu was offered a fellowship at the New School University in New York City. Pictured in the photo from left to right is Anu's maternal grandfather, maternal grandmother, mother, herself, and her uncle. This was taken in 2001 in the United States. Life in the United States started rocky for Anu. She needed to prove to the United States government that she would be able to support herself through college. She was not able to prove this. Her aunt and uncle had a low income that the United States government believed would not be enough. On March 22, 1988, she was sent deportation orders. This experience is similar to many immigrants. In the early days of Indian immigration, from 1911 to 1915, 55% of all South Asian applicants were denied admission. This is from The Making of Asian America by Erica Lee. However, Anu's life in America was not finished. Two of her professors came to her rescue. One of the professor's brothers was an immigration lawyer who worked for her pro bono and helped her refile all her papers. Anu still remembers those professors and has so much gratitude for them today. Anu's deportation orders were overturned due to this. She graduated from the New School with a bachelor's degree in politics and economics. She then went on to earn her master's degree in social relations from Columbia University and her PhD in anthropology from Stanford University. Anu is unmarried and has no kids. This is very different from the typical views of family life in India. Erica Lee proves this when writing how Asian immigrants at the time, most were young single men in their early 20s, and that women were expected to stay home in India and take care of children and the household. Being an unmarried woman in India is rare and shunned, but Anu does not think of it this way. Anu never thought that she would not get married, and was never against marriage. She dated throughout college and after, but nothing ever came to fruition. However, she is pleased with her current lifestyle. She states that if she were ever to be married in the future, the person would need to add something to her life. On the subject of children, Anu never wanted children of her own. In the interview, she spoke about adopting children. She said, "I was never sure that I wanted to have children because I just felt that the world was a pretty messed up place. If I want children, I should just adopt kids that are already on this earth." When talking about her immigration, her experience coming to America was different from earlier immigration. This is primarily because young men came to find work. She was a young single woman coming to the States for college. As previously stated, women were expected to be homemakers. Anu has always been very independent and never wanted to rely on another person. This was a driving force in starting her own life in a new country. Anu's experiences in America have shaped her character into a strong, outspoken woman. Between her master's and her PhD, she worked at a refugee resettlement agency and helped Soviet refugees. One advantage she had at this job was that she could speak Russian, as she had to learn it back in India. She really enjoyed working there. Another experience she enjoyed was the March on Washington in 1992 to advocate for women's reproductive rights. Anu believes marches are so important because it was a way for her to mark her presence and participation in society. Anu states that it was a formative experience to be gathered with many people who were screaming for what they believe in. Anu also participated in Black Lives Matter protests, specifically after the murder of George Floyd. She recalls how diverse and welcoming the crowd was. She states it was a beautiful experience where people gathered to make a difference. While she had a lot of great experiences, others are remembered for different reasons. Anu participated in a protest against the Broadway show M. Butterfly, which negatively portrayed Asian women. NYPD officers were yelling at her, telling her to go back to where she came from. She called this her wake-up moment. It proved that America was not this utopia that people had described it as. This type of racism can also be seen in the book The Making of Asian America by Erica Lee, when she states that 1,000 Union supporters marched down the main streets of Bellingham on Wednesday, September 4th, 1907, shouting, "Drive out the Hindus." Anu identifies herself as a South Asian American. It combines the two major parts of her life into one label. She only became an American citizen 10 years ago. When asked why it took her so long, she responded that she always thought she would go back to India. However, she realized that the United States was the home she chose and wanted more of a political voice. To end this presentation, I want to share a quote from the interview with Anu that was incredibly powerful and showed the experience of many other immigrants from around the world. She states, I finally decided that this is a place where I have formed lifelong relationships beyond, the sort of relationships that you were born into and born with, and that this is a place where I want to put down political roots and become recognized as a legitimate citizen, so that no cop can yell at me and tell me to go home again, even though they do, yes. But then I can legitimately say, this is my home, so I am not going. Here is my works cited page. Thank you so much for watching my presentation.